Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Football channel. Today we've got our latest episode of the Premier League show. So I'm going to let Ethan go through what we're going to be discussing today.
Right, in the Prem show today we're going to be reviewing the Saturday's games of the Premier League, and the score predictions for the Sunday's games, and the transfer rumours. Then our only debate question in the Prem show, discuss the Prem Hall of Fame and whether we agree with Omri and Shearer being the first two on there.
Yep, because obviously they have been put in there straight away from the off.
Yeah.
If you want, if there's 6 players in particular, by the way, guys, that you think should be in there, go ahead and vote on the Premier League website.
I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. You don't even need to register or anything. Yeah, and you can submit your vote. So we'll go straight into the video anyway then. Starting off with reviewing Saturday's games. So today's games, we'll go straight into it. Starting off with the early kick-off, 12:30, Crystal Palace at home, taking on Man City. And Man City winning 2-0. There's no real surprise with Man City winning there, is there, Ethan?
No, there isn't, to be fair. I mean, Crystal Palace did have chances, but with their quality, they're just... You just don't see them scoring against Man City. I did think it was like a crap game to watch, though.
Yeah.
To be fair, because I did watch it for some parts. I just thought, I'm turning the TV off. I can't be bothered to watch this. It's just boring. But in the second half, Man City scored twice, with Aguero finally scoring, which was nice to see. And apparently he needs one more goal, and he's scored the most goals ever in the Premier League for one club.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So,
jeez,
good start there for you.
Yeah, mate. Bloody hell. Well, yeah. Go on.
So Crystal Palace obviously aren't going to get relegated, but do need to show some class more. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd say Man City, say Aguero got a really nice goal, which is nice to see, as you said. And yeah, they did what they're expected to do, really. Maybe even expected more goals from City, but just a couple in the end, but that's enough, realistically. And they can just keep getting... picking up points and making it a comfortable title win. So fair play to Man City, got the win, and unfortunate for Palace, but it is still Man City, so a bit more understandable. But we'll move on. Brighton were at home against Leeds, and Brighton got a 2-0 win. Good victory for Brighton there.
Against a really good Leeds side at the moment as well, with them beating the likes of, drawing the likes of Liverpool and winning against Man City. But I think really surprising result, considering how Leeds press against teams and cause havoc. But Brighton played really well, and 2 goals as well against them. Really good result for Brighton. And obviously they were safe for ball, but I think Brighton have showed why they should be in the Premier League, beating the likes of Leeds.
Yeah. Similar to what you said, I was going to say Brighton just showing why they're not in that massive relegation scrap, really, because they can get results, they can deliver when needed, and it's a good win against an in-form Leeds United side. Give them some confidence. Probably disappointing from Leeds' point of view that they didn't at least pick up a point away against Brighton, considering the form they've been in. But good result for Brighton. Another 3 points on the board, and be a nice, comfortable finish to the season for both sides, at least anyway. But moving on to what was the 5:30 kickoff, where Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, so at home, took on their rivals, London derby, Fulham, and Chelsea came out on top with a 2-0 victory, Will say, I know it is a London derby, but did you really expect anything else?
No, I think Chelsea were just. I mean, since their form against like Real Madrid, even though it was a 1-1 draw, going away from home was brilliant. Getting a 1-1 draw in the Champions League and coming off the Champions League to get a 2-0 win like that is superb. And Havertz today was brilliant. Mason Mount was almost like Zinedine Zidane. Just his consistency is brilliant. Of like his class. And deservedly getting a 2-0 and making the top 4 race interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't really agree more, to be honest. Good win for Chelsea. Give them more confidence going into the next, the second leg of the Champions League. Also good as well, gives them confidence because even though it is Fulham, it's still a London derby and they did get the win, so that's good for them. Unfortunate for Fulham, but realistically, like even though it is a London derby, if you're a Fulham fan, I think even yourself, you realistically know that like it's not that bad to lose that game because there is a quality difference there. It's bad in the sense that it looks like Fulham are down, but we won't get into that yet anyway. Still some games left.
Premier League.
Yeah. But yeah, fair play to Chelsea getting the job done once again. And then moving on to the last game of the Premier League that we had today. Now, when I sort of shotted the scores for the games, it was 1-1 between Everton and Aston Villa, but that was at half time. So, do you have an update on what the score is now? Because if not, I can pull it up quickly.
It's 2-1 Aston Villa.
Right, how many minutes in?
87th minute.
87. Right. 2-1 Aston Villa. Okay, so we'll go off that scoreline then. Since there's only a few minutes left. So if it does stay 2-1 Aston Villa, what do you think of that?
Well, Aston Villa, brilliant result against a good Everton side with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison and Rodriguez, just everyone quality in that team. And an Aston Villa side without the likes of Jack Grealish, I think.
Yeah.
He's probably playing. I mean, Ollie Watkins and Al Ghazi again on the score sheet, so another goal for Ollie Watkins, which is nice to see. And showing why he deserves a place in Gareth Southgate's side.
Yeah.
Really. And to be fair, I don't think Everton will get top 4 now since this result.
No.
Which is really unlucky. But, I mean, there is some transfer rumours which we'll get onto.
Yeah.
So that could be really interesting if they do sign this player.
Yeah.
So unlucky for Everton. Just how many games left of the season is it now in the Premier League?
About 4.
Yeah.
4 games left.
I'm pretty sure for Stoke it's only 1. I swear.
Yeah, it's one left. We finish 8th of May, whereas the Prem finishes on the 23rd.
Yeah, crazy.
So, yeah.
So we won't be doing any Stoke stuff.
No, the content will either be... Well, it'll probably get revamped maybe, guys, into something else. But yeah, it won't be Stoke.
Yeah.
If it is Stoke, it'll probably be more likely... Stoke stuff will probably more likely come back in the summer when you can do like more transfer updates. But when the season first finishes, no transfer rumours really kick in until like a couple of weeks after the season's finished. So, but yeah, talking about that Everton game though, Everton at home, so pretty disappointing. Good for Aston Villa to get a win, which Aston Villa have done really well for themselves this season. They've had to deal with a massive loss in Grealish when he got that injury, but they've still managed to push through and it's not affected them terribly. Be a really solid result away against Everton at Goodison Park. On Everton's side of things though, I think it just really shows sort of how far off they are still from being a really big side in the Prem. They've got some foundations there, but it's like they're just missing a piece of the puzzle. Like they're not quite there yet. They're still a fair bit off from filling in that gap. But as we say, maybe, good investment in the summer window, and that could change for next season, make that gap a little bit tighter. But we'll move on now for our predictions for tomorrow's games, Sunday's Premier League games. Starting off with the earliest kickoff of the three, and that's at 2 o'clock kickoff, Newcastle at home against Arsenal. What do you think the score will be for this one?
Well, I think Arsenal really need a win here to get some confidence back from the 2-1 loss at Villarreal.
Yeah.
And I can see it happening because Newcastle aren't the best side.
No.
But they are hitting a bit of form with the likes of the Burnley game, obviously. A bit of form, but not too much.
Yeah.
I can only see it going one way, and I think Arsenal will win 2-0.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not really, nobody's convinced by Newcastle, let's be honest. However, I believe that they will pick up a 1-1 draw tomorrow. Just because Arsenal are just so all over the place defensively. I think St. Maximin will be able to break through that, get a goal for them, as he usually does. And I think from Newcastle, it'll probably be maybe getting all 10 men behind the ball, defending. The defence isn't great, so they'll still let one in, but they won't let any more after that, is what I'm going to say. And they'll just hang on. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. If it was anybody else, I'd probably predict a Newcastle loss because they've not been great this season, but I'll go 1-1 anyway. So, moving on then, 4:30. It's got to say, the main game of the weekend for the Premier League. That's Man United at home, by the way, as well, at Old Trafford, take on Liverpool. So a massive rival match there. But what do you think will be the score for this one?
I mean, if Liverpool want to get top four, they need to win this game.
Yeah.
Need to win this game. But I don't think they will. I can't see them getting a goal, to be fair. I don't know where it would come from, to be honest. I know Salah's been brilliant this season, but I think he's just going to get pocketed by Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw's been brilliant this season, and obviously he's got team of the season. So I'm going to say a 1-0 win for Man United. I don't think there's going to be many goals in this.
I'm literally so annoyed you said that because I've literally had that score. I literally said that score prediction to one of my mates earlier on at lunchtime today. I'd say 1-0 United because I said I can't see where Liverpool get a goal, and I reckon United will just sneak a win. So yeah, I'm going to go with 1-0 as well. Like Ethan said, I can't see where Liverpool will get a goal, and I think United will just have enough to get that one that one key goal and stop Liverpool's hopes of getting top four, because I don't think they will get that this season. But
no, I think financially they're going to be struggling as well.
We'll see. We'll see what happens then. But both going with a 1-0 win to United there, so that's one score that we can agree on for this weekend. But then we go to the final game of Sunday's fixtures, where Tottenham are at home and they take on Sheffield United at 7:15 kickoff. What do you think the score will be for this one?
I mean, Sheffield United obviously going down, but they did get a win when we predicted they would get battered by Brighton. So I'm going to be cautious about Sheffield United this time. But Tottenham are just miles ahead of in quality, in class, and it'll be good. It'll be a good test for Ryan Mason with his tactics and all that. But I think he won 2-1 against Southampton, wasn't it?
Yeah, last minute penalty. Game. Yeah.
So if he can win against Southampton, I'm sure he can win against Sheffield United comfortably with the players he's got.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a 3-0 win for Tottenham.
Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, because I've actually got 3-0 down here as well. I put the scores before and I've got 3-0 on here. So, I mean, I suppose in a way it's not a bad thing. I mean, as the saying goes, great minds think alike. Hey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm going with basically just giving my score there as well, because I'm going to go with a 3-0 win to Tottenham. Sort of really because Sheffield United they did cause an issue for Brighton, but at the same time, Sheffield United are already down and they're just so far off nearly all the teams in the Premier League in terms of quality. I don't think Tottenham will hammer them because I don't think Tottenham have the quality right now to do that. But just in the sense that, like, if you look at them in the big games against City and stuff, they can't really break through. So I don't think they'll absolutely go ham on them. But it is still Sheffield United, and I think they will crumble. So an open gap's up for Tottenham. So I'm going to say a 3-0 win as well. So yeah, they are our school predictions for Sunday's game. So we will move on to the next thing, which is transfer rumours. We're going to start off with a very interesting one. And it would spark, actually, I've only just thought about this, spark a bit of drama because basically Everton are confident of a Coutinho deal. It says here that Everton are said to be so confident of pulling off a summer move for Felipe Coutinho that a process of house hunting has already begun, has been reported. Coutinho has failed to shine at Barcelona since his big money move from Merseyside rivals Liverpool, which is exactly what I was just about to mention. If this did happen, someone who brought great memories for Liverpool fans would then do the thing which would be one of their worst nightmares and sign for a rival club. But going into it, likelihood and quality of this for you?
I mean, the quality, if we're getting a Liverpool Coutinho, it's going to be a 10 for me, for Everton. Anyway, I think him going that centre attacking midfield role with James Rodriguez on the right wing, because that's where he's normally played now, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, it's going to be a scary team to put, and an underrated team to play against. I will say a 10's a bit dramatic. I'll go with an 8. I'll go with an 8.
Yeah.
And the likelihood I'm going to go with. I mean, from the sounds of it, it's quite likely it's going to happen. So I'm going to say an 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be happening.
Yeah. Well, I'll say likelihood. I'd give it like an 8 as well, because if the reports are true, what they're saying, he's already going and looking for a house, then it must be pretty nailed on that it's going to happen. So I'll give it an 8 for likelihood. For quality, Coutinho needs this because he's dropped off since he left Liverpool. He needs somewhere new, somewhere fresh, maybe somewhere that's slightly smaller than Barcelona, which is exactly Everton are. Obviously, they are building something, but there is still a bit of a gap, which I think would actually help him anyway. And because of the players he's going to be playing around, he could actually fit in quite nicely. Saying that, he has still struggled of recent, and I'm going to go with a 7. I think it could work off quite well, but I'm not going to go any higher than that because I don't think it's a certain that it will, since he has obviously struggled still at Barcelona. However, I did think he improved slightly when he was at Bayern on loan. Obviously, he did score against Barcelona as well. Let's not forget in the Champions League for Bayern. But going on for that, moving on to another one, should I say? And it's to do with Aston Villa. This one, Aston Villa are reportedly monitoring Tammy Abraham. So, because apparently the out-of-favour Chelsea striker is understood to be on his way out of Stamford Bridge this summer. And we see Tammy Abraham getting little game time this season, not looking like he's in Tuchel's plans. Likelihood and quality of this, him signing permanently for Aston Villa now that they're comfortable in the Prem?
I mean, I think this is the perfect move for him, for Abraham. It's not a too low-end-off club. It's not a too high-end club. And I think he's a decent striker. He's not the best striker, but he's an okay striker, I'd say, on his day. And for quality, I'd say it's a 7. But I don't really get why Aston Villa are getting him, because Ollie Watkins is in form and all that. And do you want to replace him or something? But unless they're going with 2 up top, then yeah, perfect partnership maybe. Likelihood, I'd say 7.
Yeah.
happen because Tammy Abraham he probably wants a move since his game time, but will he want to replace Ollie Watkins with him? I don't know, but I think he will play up front. Dean Smith will.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say likelihood of 7.
Okay then. For me, I'm going to say likelihood. I was going to say 7 as well. I do think it could happen. I do believe that move would fit Abraham quite nicely. Obviously, he was at Aston Villa before. We helped him out massively in the Championship. But now Aston Villa are comfortable in the Prem and causing some issues and do have some bits of quality in that starting 11. And, he's going to be getting supplied by, Jack Grealish as well, which will be a good attraction for him. So, likelihood 7. Quality for Aston Villa if they did that, well, I think it'd be brilliant because they've already got Ollie Watkins who's scoring goals, and Tammy Abraham's brilliant because he could score goals. It could be a good partnership up front together, like you said, but also it means that if they don't start together, it's like a really good swap for subs when Ollie Watkins needs to come off. It also means that if Ollie Watkins did get injured, they don't need to panic as much if they've got somebody like Tammy who can go straight in. So quality, I'd give it an 8. I think that would be solid for Aston Villa. But we'll move on to this next one, which is that Chelsea have reportedly jumped ahead of Manchester United in the race to sign Real Madrid star Rafael Varane. So another Prem club linked with Varane. Likelihood and quality of this happening, Varane to Chelsea?
Well, for Chelsea, I think this will just bolster their defence even more. We know how many clean sheets they've had recently under Tuchel, and I think Varane would be a really good centre back in the Chelsea colours. Likelihood though, I'm going to say a 5. I can't see it happening because Real Madrid are a really, really known as a really good big side, and I can't really see him going there as well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a 5. I'm going to say a 5 with likelihood, but in quality, I'm going to give him an 8. I think he's really, really good. I mean, obviously, every FIFA fan hates him. Unless you're a scumbag, but well,
there's a certain player, to be fair, who in our team that is unfortunately on the side of Varane, using him on FIFA. But there you go, we'll go into that. But anyway, so I'll let you carry on, finish off.
So I'm going to say quality of 8 for Varane. I think if Chelsea did get this move, what a signing to bolster their defensive squad with the likes of Thiago Silva. Has he signed a new deal to stay on for another year?
I don't know.
He probably hasn't. So that could be a really good replacement for him.
Yeah.
Varane's really experienced now since he's played in the Champions League and all that.
Yeah.
And with his pace as centre back, it's always a good sign when you have a good pacey centre back.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Yeah. So, personally for me, then on this, starting with likelihood, I don't think it's very likely because Real Madrid are progressing fairly well and seem to be having more of an upspell now and going back to where they should be. Obviously they're in the semi-finals with Chelsea right now. I think if Real Madrid won that, then that'd show the difference. And I'd say, obviously, they're doing well. They're doing better than Barcelona and La Liga. So
I'm pretty sure the second. Yes, the second.
Yeah, so they are catching up again. So they're being quite dominant in the La Liga. So I'd say likelihood is probably a 4, but the quality for Chelsea, if they pulled that off, that would be really good. We say it would be a good replacement for Thiago Silva. It'd be a great replacement for Silva because guess what, people? Varane's better. Varane's better at centre back now.
Well, yeah.
So if you look at the age difference as well, he's better now. He's better now. I'm not saying Thiago Silva in his prime because he was brilliant, but yeah. So I'd say that would be a really solid signing. He'd massively help out, and I'd give that an 8 for quality. So we've got this one then. It's not necessarily a transfer rumour, but it's linked with the market because Salah has said there's been no contract talks yet with Liverpool. Mohamed Salah says he hasn't been approached by anyone at Liverpool about extending his contract, which expires in the summer of 2023. So I just wanted to ask you, Ethan, pretty much, if... Now, this is a big one, because I'm not going to say, do you think you'll leave in 2023? I think that's a bit boring, because it's still a bit away yet. So I wanted just to make it a bit more interesting. Do you think he will leave in this summer, yes or no, basically?
To be honest, I think if Liverpool got the right deal, probably. I think they would get the... If they got the right deal, yes. I think they could get another player in that position and not lose too much. And don't get me wrong, Salah's been brilliant for Liverpool, but I think some Liverpool fans have said that if they did sell him, I don't think they would miss him, which I can't understand. And he hasn't played. Yeah, even though he scored a load of goals, he hasn't been the best this season, apparently, according to some Liverpool fans. So, I mean,
yeah,
I think he could leave this summer. He's been linked with Real Madrid before.
So for you though, if you had to say a yes or no for him to leave, which one are you going for? If you had to say one,
well, yeah,
okay. All right, fair enough. For me, I don't know if it'd be in... I know people saying get good money from him and so on, but I don't know if it'd be in Liverpool's best interests to sell Salah, but that's not really the point of the question. And in a way, because if Mo Salah wants to leave, he'll get his way out. Most players always do, to be honest. So for me, it's more like I'm thinking, will Salah want to leave? And I do think he will. You know, Real Madrid and all that stuff are knocking on. Why wouldn't he want to go there? Liverpool dropping off. He doesn't look as interested in Liverpool as of recent in the last few weeks since he have calmed down, even though he's scoring. So I would say that I'd say yes, I do think he will probably leave this summer. But if I had to pick one, I'd say yes. And very, very quickly, basically the same thing again, like we did for Mo Salah. And I don't want to go through this in depth because it happens all the time. This is one of the things that does annoy me about Mr. Paul Pogba. Because Mino Raiola has come out and said Pogba wants to win titles at Man United or elsewhere. And it basically just goes on to talk about how Real Madrid was an attractive potential future club for Paul Pogba, and the midfielder wants to win trophies. So, for you, same format, yes or no, do you think you'll leave United this summer?
This summer, I think it's getting more and more likely that he's not going to leave because United are getting in really good positions to win the Europa League, obviously. And Pogba's actually playing, and he's loving football, apparently. So I think no. To be honest, I don't think he'll leave this summer.
Yeah, fair enough. Me, I don't think he'll leave either, especially if United win the Europa League. Obviously, United have got Champions League for next season. They're going to finish second, which is better than the rest, except from one. So that just shows how good Man United have been, how much they've improved, that they're sitting in second and they're going to finish second this season. So they're going to come second, which is better than anybody else, even though there will be a little gap. And if they win the Europa League as well, there's a trophy right there. And then there's Champions League next season. So for Pogba, I think, he stayed he stayed at United at times where they've looked like they're massively dropping off. Now that they're on the upward spiral, why would he now leave when he's already gone through the rubbish?
Exactly.
And I think, if they pick up a trophy as well, like I say, and then you've got Champions League next season, it's setting up quite nicely. And they've come second as well, so you never know if they get a couple of players this summer, maybe they can get it a little bit closer. But yeah, I think he will not leave, so no, I'm going to say no. I think he'll stay at United this summer, so I agree with Ethan on that one. So then we're going to go on to our final thing before we finish this podcast, which is the Premier League Hall of Fame. Now, the first thing of this is the first two people that got automatically put in there, by the Premier League was Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer, being the first official two to make the Premier League Hall of Fame. So for you, basically, I just wanted to say, do you agree with them two being the first two put in? If you don't agree with it, then why and who would you have put in instead?
To be honest, I'd agree, to be fair, with the Shearer and Henry being in the Hall of Fame. One, Shearer's top goal scorer of the Premier League. So, that says it all, really. And Henry won the title with the Invincible season with Arsenal, obviously, in their peak years. And was just a really good player to watch. Yeah. To be fair, so I'd agree with them too, being in there.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I agree as well. Thierry Henry, class levels above many of the greats, was versatile for Arsenal as well. He could go onto the wing when they needed him to. He could go striker when they needed him to, but then he can also go into that midfield. And he produced the same level of quality regardless of where he's playing. Unbelievable player, of course. And Alan Shearer as well, like you say, got to be because he's the top scorer in the Premier League, in Premier League history. I think, funny thing is, the two people that I've seen come out and say they disagree with Shearer being put in there is Mark Goldbridge and Rio Ferdinand. Dare I say...
what a surprise.
Dare I say two salty United fans. But, yeah, I think he's got to be. I think the fact that there's even somebody who thinks Shearer doesn't deserve it when he scored the most goals in the Premier League, I mean, how stupid is that? In a way. I'm not being funny, but at the same time, he scored the most goals in the Premier League and you think, no, that's still not good enough.
I'll tell you why they have disagreed with that. It's because Shearer was close to signing with United.
He didn't, but he went to his hometown, Newcastle, didn't he? Yeah. Which I think actually gives him more credibility that he went with his team that he supports instead of just going for more money. But anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to just quickly go through the players on the Hall of Fame list that you can vote for, the nominees. So I'm just going to quickly say the ones that I voted for, and then I'm just going to ask Ethan, because you have to vote for 6 of the players that are on the list. So, and then I'm just going to say to Ethan what 6 he would vote for. So I'll just quickly say this. On the list, right, there is Tony Adams, David Beckham, Dennis Bergkamp, Eric Cantona, Sol Campbell. There's also Didier Drogba, Ashley Cole, Andy Cole. There's Robbie Fowler, Rio Ferdinand, Les Ferdinand. There's Frank Lampard, Roy Keane, Steven Gerrard. There's Peter Schmeichel, Michael Owen, Matt Letizia. There's also Robin Van Persie, John Terry, Paul Scholes, And finally, there is Nemanja Vidic, Patrick Vieira, and Ian Wright. So I'll quickly just say the 6 that I voted for because I have registered my vote on this. So the 6 I voted for was David Beckham was one of my votes. And another of my vote was Ashley Cole. I also voted for Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard. And I also voted for Robin Van Persie and John Terry. And they were my 6. So, Ethan, just want to say to you, if you're just looking at those on there, what would your 6 votes be going to? What 6 players would you vote for out of them?
All right, I'm going to do 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 2 strikers. Okay, because yeah, and I won't do the keeper because I'm pretty sure there's only one keeper.
Yeah, it's just Petr Schmeichel.
I've seen highlights, but I didn't really watch him. So I'm going to say Nemanja Vidic and John Terry.
Yeah.
Then Patrick Vieira and Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
Then Didier Drogba. And I know I didn't watch him, but watching highlights of him was just amazing to watch. And I'm going to say Eric Cantona.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Won't lie to you, I after I submitted my votes, I did think, maybe I should have put Didier on there. But yeah, because he was quality, to be fair. But I think me and Ethan both, I know I did for all mine. Ethan did for most of his. Going for players that we've actually watched before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of greats there. But realistically, I feel like it doesn't feel right for me to vote for a player that I didn't really watch properly, wasn't really of my time as much. So, both of us really going for ones that we've seen play. But yeah, so there are 6 for the Hall of Fame. And obviously we do agree with Thierry Henry and Shearer being the first 2. Rightfully so, in our opinion. But that is everything for today's podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to this because we certainly enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy listening to it, then please like and subscribe. Thank you for all the support recently. And if you've got any thoughts, comments, suggestions, tips, or anything else, then please put it in the comment section down below. And I'll let Ethan add something if he wants to before we go.
Yeah, like Warren said, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's free at the end of the day. We will be doing the Stoke preview/review and our last preview/review since Stoke. It's going to be the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but better luck for next season for Stoke, hopefully.
Yeah.
Can see playoffs, hopefully, with likes of Campbell and them coming back. And just subscribe, like I said, subscribe and like the video, it's free. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got to say.
Alright, we'll see you in the next one, guys.
In a bit.